absorption. So in that digestion and absorption, in the previous class I said the meaning of definition of digestion, then types of digestion, how our digestion is being carried out. Then I started with the digestive system. I said the alimentary canal, the anterior part, posterior part. It starts with the mouth. The anterior part is going to start with the mouth, and then mouth is going to leads to the buccal cavity. So that buccal cavity is having the roof, floor, okay. Then it is being bordered with the number of the teeth, and it is the oral cavity is consisting of the floor. That floor is only called as the muscular tongue. Why it is said to be as the muscular tongue? Because it is made up of the muscles. Okay, then I said our oral cavity is being bordered with the teeth. Okay, so that teeth, those are being present inside the socket of jaw bones. So what is that socket of the jaw bone? So here you can observe. Okay, so this is the jaw bone. What you are going to observe, that is the U-shaped structure. What we are going to observe, that is the jaw bone. See on your left hand side you can see the sockets, that is a cavity where the teeth are going to be arised. Okay, then on the left hand side you can see the sockets as well as the in that sockets there is the presence of the teeth. Okay, so remember students, what you are going to see the teeth, when you open your mouth and observe the teeth. So that teeth is nothing but it is the crown part of the teeth we are going to observe. Other all teeth part will be embedded in the socket of the jawbone. Sockets means they are the packets or the space present in the jawbone, and in that space the teeth is being attached. So it is called the attachment of the teeth, or the teeth which is embedded in a socket of the jawbone. So that attachment we call, the type of attachment is called as thecodont. Okay, then here you all know that these human beings, you might have observed, or even you all have experienced it in case of our teeth. We are going to see when we were around 6 years old, our teeth started falling. Then after some months, after some years, those teeth are again arised. When the baby is being born, we are not going to see the teeth. Okay, after some like when the baby is being born, after 5 months, 7 months, 9 months, we are going to see the rise of the teeth. Okay, so those teeth will be present until that baby turns to be, until that child turns to be as 6 years old. Once it becomes 6 years old, those teeth will start falling, and again after some days, after some months, new teeth are going to arise. Okay, and the teeth which are going to arise after 6 years old, so those teeth will be permanent. The teeth which are going to arise soon after we born, so those teeth are said to be as a temporary teeth. Okay, so in case of the human beings, most of the mammals are, not only the humans, most of the human mammals are having this property. During their lifetime, they will be having the two sets of the teeth. What are those two sets of the teeth? Those two sets of the teeth, one is the tooth which we get soon after the baby is born. So that teeth we call it as milk teeth, or they are also called as the deciduous teeth. Once those teeth will be there until 6 years old. After that 6 years old, again the new teeth what they are going to arise. No, so those teeth are said to be as permanent, or they are called as the adult teeth. Okay, so during the lifespan of the human beings, two sets of the teeth are being observed, where the milk teeth or deciduous teeth are being replaced by the set of permanent teeth or the adult teeth. So this two sets of the teeth which are being observed during the lifespan of the human beings, the type of the dentition is called as diphyodont. So diphyodont, di means it stands for two, don't means it is with respect to their teeth. Okay, then our human beings teeth are said to be as a heterodont. Remember students, the human beings teeth are said to be as thecodont, they are said to be as diphyodont, they are said to be as heterodont. Why they are called as thecodont? Because the teeth are being embedded in the socket of the jawbone. They are said to be as diphyodont. Why? Because the two sets of the teeth are being observed during the lifespan of the humans. Okay, then the next, the human teeth are said to be as heterodont. Why they are called as heterodont? Hetero means it stands for the meaning, the word meaning of the hetero means it is a different sets of teeth, different shapes of teeth are being observed. So because of that, the human teeth are also said to be as heterodont. Why they are called as heterodont? Because different types of teeth are being observed, that is called incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So students, here you can see on the top incisor, the next canine, premolars and molars. Okay, so this is with respect to the teeth, where our teeth are of different types. So because of this different types of the teeth are being observed, the human teeth are said to be as heterodont. So how many teeth do we all have? We all have 32 teeth. Only it is with respect to the number. We say that we all have 32, but when you may get a question, or you might have, I said no, you all are going to study the physiology of your own body, so you should be knowing about yourself. So when I say we all are having 32 teeth, so you may go and stand in front of the mirror and you may start counting your own teeth, but at that time you won't get the number of teeth to be as 32. Why? Because we all have only 28. Why we all have 28, only 28? Because here you can observe 6th, 7th and 8th. We call all those three teeth as molars. Okay, so these are the molars are of 3, but nobody is going to get the third molar. On all the sides we are going to get only 7 teeth on all the sides. Means, see, you open your mouth, you observe upper jaw, lower jaw. Upper jaw you divide it half, one side 7, another side also 7. Lower jaw again you divide it, another side half 7 and one more side also the 7. So 7 into 4 means how many we are going to get? We are going to get only 28. But they say that there will be 32, but the third molar teeth we almost, it is now, it is going to become as a rudimentary teeth. It is going to become as a vestigial. We say no way that if any organ or structure we we doesn't use it, it becomes useless, it becomes rudimentary, it becomes as a vestigial organ. But you may get sometimes a pain as if that teeth may arise, like that you may feel, but you won't get it. Remember, only are having 28 teeth, that is incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So this arrangement of the teeth in each half of the upper and lower jaw in the order is incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So there is a dental formula with respect to the human beings. The dental formula of the human beings is 2123 divided by 2123. What is this 2123? 2123 means 2 incisors, 1 is canine, 2 is premolar and 3 is the molars. This is of only the upper half of the lower jaw. Another divided by means in the denominator and numerator 2123. One is of upper half of the lower upper half of the jaw and another one is lower half of the jaw. So what is the dental formula of the human being? The dental formula of the human being is 2123 divided by 2123. So if you count 2123, if you add all together, it becomes 8. So 8 divided by 8, it becomes 1 that is 8 is going to get only at the half of your upper or lower jaw. Like that you all are having the 4 sides, no? So 8 by 8, if you multiply 2, because 2 sets upper and lower jaw, half of you are having. So on upper jaw and lower jaw you are going to get 16 and 16. So 16 plus 16 it is 32. So the number of teeth we have is 32 in the book. So when you count in your mouth, it is only 28. Okay, then these teeth, I said what you are going to observe, no, that is only the crown part of the teeth, because all the root part of the teeth is being embedded inside the socket of our jaw bones. Okay, so that crown part of the teeth is having the hardest chewing surface. That hardest chewing surface of the teeth, we call it as enamel. So what is the use of this enamel? The enamel is going to help in the mastication of food. Remember, what is mastication? Mastication means it is cutting of our food, chewing of the food. So this is all about our teeth. Then your oral cavity, the anterior part of the alimentary canal starts with the mouth. It is going to open or continue as a buccal cavity or oral cavity. So that buccal or oral cavity is bordered by the teeth. It is having the roof as a palate, floor as a tongue. So that tongue is the muscular organ which is being attached to the floor of the oral cavity by the connection called as a frenulum. So this is about your oral cavity or buccal cavity. So this oral cavity or buccal cavity, further it is going to leads to the one more structure that is called as pharynx. Okay, so that pharynx you can observe in the diagram. So here see, you can observe that yellow color, or which is visible with a creamish color. So that part is a pharynx. Remember students, one more thing, this pharynx, it is a common passage for food and the air. So this oral cavity, it is further leading to the next one more, the short structure that is called pharynx, which is considered to be as the common passage for the food and the air. So after the pharynx, it is going to lead to the next one more part of the alimentary canal, that is the esophagus. Okay, so here you observe, I said the pharynx is the common passage for food and the air. So what is the passage of the food is called? The passage of the food is called as a food pipe, or we also call it as esophagus. Then the passage of the air is called windpipe, or we also call it as a trachea. Both together are going to open out as the pharynx. So here you have to remember one more thing, the opening of the windpipe. You all know that the opening of windpipe is called as glottis. So that opening of the windpipe called the glottis, so that is restricted only for the air. If any food molecule is coming towards the opening of the windpipe, then suddenly that windpipe is going to get closed by a cartilaginous flap like structure called as epiglottis. So this epiglottis is going to prevent the entry of the food into the windpipe or into the glottis during swallowing. So what is epiglottis? Epiglottis is a cartilaginous flap-like structure which is present attached to the opening of the windpipe. So whenever your food, during your swallowing, whenever the food molecules comes near the opening of the windpipe, so this opening, the windpipe is going to get closed by the cartilaginous flap structure called as epiglottis. Why I am specifying it is as cartilaginous because that epiglottis is made up of cartilage. Then once the pharynx, so I started with the alimentary canal, I said about the mouth, then oral cavity. In the oral cavity I said about the palate, then the tongue, then the teeth. Next I have started with the next alimentary canal structure, that is a pharynx. After the pharynx, it is going to run as a long thin tube called as esophagus. So remember, this esophagus is going to pass through the neck. Okay, it is going to pass through the neck, then it is going to come to the thorax part, then it is going to cross the diaphragm. Okay, so here you can see where the stomach part is going to start. Above it, a black color, some bulged like a dome like structure is being shown. So that is nothing but it is a diaphragm. So the esophagus from the pharynx is going to continue as the next alimentary canal structure called as the esophagus. So this esophagus, it is going to pass through the neck, thorax and the diaphragm. Once it is going to continue till the diaphragm. Soon after the diaphragm, it is going to run as the J-shaped, a bag-like structure called as a stomach. Okay, so here this opening of the esophagus into the bag-like structure is being regulated by the valves or the sphincters called as gastroesophageal sphincter. The gastroesophageal sphincter regulates the opening of esophagus into the stomach. Okay, so in case of after the pharynx, the pharynx is going to run as the long esophagus which is going to run through the neck, thorax and the diaphragm. So after once it crosses the diaphragm, it is going to lead as a J-shaped bag-like structure, and that structure is called as a stomach. So here the opening of esophagus into the stomach is being regulated by a sphincter called as gastroesophageal sphincter. It is also called as the muscular sphincter. So here then you can observe the structure of the stomach. I said, so don't consider the stomach is round. Okay, so remember the stomach is of the J-shaped structure. So this J-shaped structure, bag-like structure, is made up of three major parts. In some new edition books, after the cardiac, one more labeling is being added, that is considered to be as the body. So here you can see the human stomach, that is one part, one side it is being shown as esophagus and another side it is being shown as duodenum. Okay, where the esophagus is going to start with the stomach, that part is said to be as the fundus, or it is also called as the fundic. Then next part it is going to be continued as cardiac, after that it is body, and then the last part of the stomach is going to be called as pyloric. Okay, so once the pyloric is that pyloric part of the stomach is going to further continue as the next part of the alimentary canal, and that next part of the alimentary canal is called as the intestine. So in the alimentary canal I have told about mouth, buccal cavity, in the buccal cavity palate, then tongue, then teeth. Then about the tongue I said with respect to the papillae, it is 4 types of the papillae, taste buds. Okay, so when I uttered word the taste buds, remember these taste buds, they help in identification of the 4 kind of the taste, that is with respect to the salt, sour, bitter, okay, and sweet. Then after the oral cavity it is pharynx. Then in the pharynx I said about the epiglottis. After the pharynx it is the esophagus. Then after the esophagus that is the stomach. So this esophagus is going to open as stomach with the help of, it is being regulated with the sphincter called as gastroesophageal. Gastro means it is related to the stomach, esophageal means it is related to the esophagus. Esophagus means that is a food pipe. Okay, so from the intestine part I'll be continuing it in the next class. Thank you, students.